Hello students, so today we are going to cover this topic, supervised learning of machine learning. So we know what are supervised learning, what is unsupervised learning and semi-supervised learning that we have briefly discussed in the last lecture of machine learning introduction. What happens in supervised learning, here we know the level of the data. The label means the structure of the data, the nature of the data. In this figure of the top left side, you can see that some of the data points are in the red circle, some are in green star, and some are in blue plus sign. So easily we can identify that which data point belongs to which class, and the segregation can be done based on the label of the class. But on the right hand side, if you see the unsupervised learning, here we don't know the label. We have the data points, and based on the data points we have to make a group of those data points which is having this similar type of structure. Structure means similar type of pattern. If we talk about the structure of a class, then we can say that the similar like-minded the students usually sit with each other, like your friends, or we can say the girls usually sit together and boys usually sit together. So there is a two different cluster in a class, the one cluster of girl and one cluster of boy. So this is unsupervised learning, where we don't know the label of the data, but we assume that this kind of structure is found in this particular situation. Now what is semi-supervised learning? Semi-supervised learning is nothing but a combination of your supervised and unsupervised learning, where we have the label of the data as well as we don't have the label, but we have the structure of the data. We have to obtain the structure of the data. So since we are covering this supervised learning is also known as the classification. We are doing the classification under some supervision. So what are the examples in real life scenario where this supervised learning algorithm works? For example, in an emergency room, there are 17 different variables of a patient. What are the 17 different variables? That blood pressure kya hai? What is the blood pressure? What is the age? And what are other information of the newly admitted patient? So similarly we have different variables of a single newly admitted patient, through which we identify that whether to put a new patient in an ICU or not. This is the decision. So what we are taking 17 different variables, and based on these 17 variables we are identifying whether to put a new patient in intensive care unit or not. So why we are doing this? Because the high cost of ICU, those patients who may survive less than a month are given high priority, so that we can identify that because the cost of ICU is very high. So if we identify earlier that the survival of this particular patient is very less, so just give him priority to get admitted into ICU. So this kind of phenomena is used to predict based on the supervised learning. So what is the problem that we have identified here? We have to identify, or we have to predict high risk patients and discriminate them from the low risk patients. The high risk patient will get the ICU earlier as compared to the low risk patients, right? See the another application of supervised learning. A credit card company receives thousands of applications for new cards. Each application contains information about, so these are the information that user provide in order to get the credit card from the bank, right? So what is the problem? We have to decide whether an application should be approved or classify application into two categories. We can approve or not approve based on the given information. So where this supervised learning applicable, or we just have to identify that these are the information. Now take this information, identify whether we are going to give the loan or not. Now see here in this picture, the most beautiful example of classification is your Gmail. Every one of you is using the Gmail for sending the emails and receiving the emails from different person. So what you observe here, that whenever a new email arrives, so the email will be categorized based on the label. So what is the label? Whether it will goes to the primary category or social or promotional or spam. So there are different categories. So Gmail, what Gmail does, it actually check that what is the label, right? What is the label of this incoming email and where this email should goes, whether it is goes to primary category or some spam. This is how the supervised learning works. Now see the machine learning and what is our focus over here. Like human learning from past experiences, as a human being, how we are going to learn? We are going through some past experiences. As we have seen our machine learning introduction lecture, there we have discussed about the example that if you first time you go to market, you don't know which way is the most efficient way. But if you go multiple time to market from different paths, then you will identify that this is the most effective way through which you can reach the market, right? So this is how the human learning works. So the same phenomena is applicable on the machine learning, where computer learns from the past experiences. So what is experience over here in the computer? The data is the experience. A computer system learns from data, which represents some past experiences of an application domain. So what is our focus? Our focus is learn a target function that can be used to predict the values of a discrete class attribute. For example, the loan should be approved or not, credit should be given or not, the patient is in high risk or low risk. So these are the things that we have to predict by taking the past experiences, right? So what is the task? Whole task is known as the supervised learning or classification or the inductive learning.